All right, thanks, Jordan. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is coming to town. He's hoping to fill the Tacoma Dome with thousands of supporters next week. King 5's Ted Land is live in the newsroom with details on Sanders' visit. Ted, will it be a warm welcome?
Well, Mark, Sanders chose a big venue which can seat up to 23,000 people, suggesting his campaign is expecting plenty of support on Monday when he visits, with less than a month until Washington's presidential primary election.
It is about transforming this country.
Bernie Sanders, the winner of the New Hampshire primary, is coming to the Tacoma Dome for a rally Monday evening. Washington Representative Pramila Jayapal will join Sanders on stage to excite voters ahead of the state's March 10th presidential primary election. Sanders, who won Washington's 2016 caucuses, is so far the only presidential contender who plans to make a public appearance in the state in the coming weeks. He still has robust support here. An exclusive King 5 News poll at the end of January showed Sanders leading the pack in Washington, ahead of Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Mike Bloomberg, and Pete Buttigieg. Though voters' minds may have changed since the Iowa and New Hampshire primaries shook up the field, adding momentum to the Buttigieg and Klobuchar campaigns.
No other presidential campaigns have announced public events with their candidates here in Washington. According to the Seattle Times, Sanders has raised more money from Washington donors than any Democratic candidate seeking the presidency. On the Republican side, President Trump has raised more than $2.7 million in Washington, eclipsing what he raised here in 2016. Back to you guys.
All right, Ted.